happy Christmas, or I'm sorry, New Year's Eve. Holidays, how are y'all doing tonight? What are you all doing tonight? If this is your first time tuning in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're doing on this fabulous New Year's Eve. What are your plans? Are you staying in? Are you going out? Staying under the covers, keeping nice and warm? You got a partner with you? Are you in your kitchen? Are you hosting a party? Are you keeping it low-key? Ooh, making dinner. Let me know. What are you doing in the kitchen with the dinner? What kind of dinner are you preparing? Exciting. So I don't know about y'all, but for me, I like to keep it low-key these days. In the old days, I can tell you I'd be in Capri, on the island of Capri, for many would say, bringing in the new year with my Italian friends, or in Naples, Italy, or I remember many a place I've traveled and lived over the years. And so it's just a matter of where are you at in your life journey. Are you still living this life, or are you moving into a new life? Because this is what New Year's is about. It's about reflecting upon where you've been, how far you've come, and where you're headed and where you want to go, right? It's the alignment, it's the flow. You know, that divine cosmic dance, which is why I love to dance so much, because you have to remember, energy's meant to stay in motion. And so, first we come back into the breath, right? We're always expanding or contracting at all times. At all times, right? You can't have one without the other. When you expand, eventually you're going to come back to contract. Ooh, I love that. Moving into the new flow. And that new full moon intention that's coming up in the next day, right? About 24 hours or so, we've got this full moon, super moon, close to the earth. This is the time to come into awareness. The awareness of who you are and where you want to improve. Recognizing, reflecting, re-injecting life back into your life comes from being aware of yourself in the present, coming into this moment fully, feeling all of the senses. The richness of life, it's all about engaging, the hearing, the seeing, the smelling, the tasting, the touching. All of that makes up the wholeness, the richness of life. Sensuality means engaging fully all of your five senses. And so when you can come present in the moment, you become one with what is right here and now in this. I am here now in this. Recognizing, are you breathing fully? Most important thing you can do is come into awareness of your breath. Are you breathing really nice and deep into the pelvic floor, expanding up through the belly, the diaphragm, up through the chest, the clavicle, up through all of your cells are being re-enlivened. And then exhaling, the contraction is that the chest lowers, the diaphragm flattens, and the belly pulls in at the navel point, right? And as you do that, 3 to 5 breaths really brings you back into grounding, into centered awareness of this moment. It brings you back to the presence, a present moment, right here, right now. When our mind goes off in emotions and commotions, traumas and dramas, gets caught up in the past or projecting itself in the future, we lose sight of the present because we're either stuck in the past or trying to run to the future. It's always an alignment of mind, body, and soul. When you recognize, where is my head? Is it aligned over my shoulders, over my hips? Or am I jutting forward, getting caught up in the possibilities of the future, trying to leap forward in anticipation, or stuck in the past, which only shackles you in the fear of living here now or even moving forward, right? So we relive our lives where we're at in the moment. The more you can come into the present awareness with gratitude, appreciation, and breath awareness, again, I'll bring it back to the breath. When you master the breath, you can master the mind, and you can master your life. And then there's that ease and grace and that flow, the divine dance, right, of the cosmos, of all that is, of how you interact with life, life showing up where you're at, and you being able to respond and go with that. So here we are in my kitchen in Clearwater, Florida. Today I got to see Star Wars' new movie in a D-box. Has anybody been in these chairs? Rumble, rumble, rumble. Hi, Julie. Grateful to be able to be of service, truly. If you think this video is rad, y'all, click the share, sprinkle a little love, spread the love. This is the web of inclusion. We're all about caring. We're all about sharing, because sharing is caring. You never know whose life you're going to touch. And again, in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're doing tonight. I saw some beautiful peeps are in their kitchens making dinner. I hope your weather is beautiful and delightful and embracing. Even if it's cold, I hope you have a nice warm fire to cozy up to with a blankie over you. Thank you, Julie, for sharing. Mwah! We're so happy here in Florida because the weather today got up to 70. It's supposed to get chilly over the next week. And then, you know, the sun is always shining. So this is the sunshine state. So I'm just grateful that I live here. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to make choices in my life that better my quality of life. So, David, you know what? That's a lot of people that I know who are alcoholics, recovering alcoholics, have told me that they won't drink kombucha because of the small amount of alcohol that is a byproduct of any fermented food, right? And so I tend to try to make people aware, even if I don't know they're an alcoholic or not, just because each individual person knows themselves. And nobody can tell you what you can or can't consume. You have to be your own wisdom, your own wise inner guru. So if you know something doesn't work for your body, you need to be able to stand in your power and say, no, that doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't work for me. If everybody else is doing it, doesn't mean we have to partake in it either, right? So as far as alternative to kombucha, I would say teas, like herbal tea elixirs, where you create like a nice herbal blend of teas with, let's say, hibiscus, or I like bilberries or schizandra berries. You can soak them in. I love me some rooibos, which is also known as honeybush, is another name for it. I love gynostema. White teas and green teas are my preferred. Some of the pu'ers and the black teas are nice, but black tea tends to bother my stomach, having dealt with a lot of gastro problems with IBS and constipation. So I tend to lean toward gentler things on my belly, which I love ferments because I needed a lot of that over the years to move things, right? So it's a matter of finding what works for you. I found kombucha, I don't drink it as much as I used to in the past. I go through phases where I go, wow, yeah, I'm not drinking it, but I'm sharing it because I make it. So that's my little home passion. And the particular brew that I'm going to do today is a coffee kombucha. So for those of you who've never experimented with making your own kombucha, I love playing with things that I've never seen, and I'm just making stuff up as I go along because it's all about being in the love lab, you know. This is the love kitchen, right? I spend a lot of time in the kitchen because that's one of my biggest passions, because I know that what I create is coming fully from my heart, and I prepare it with the most loving intentions, that everything's about uplifting and bringing the spirit of, you know, heart, openness, right? Embracing, receptivity, sensitivity, sensuality, right? Exactly, Erin, right? It's all about, let me spread the love. And again, the arms, the hands, they're extensions of the heart. Ooh, looky who we got here. Speaking of love and hearts, look at this beautiful man. He is sporting this rad jacket. Does it look familiar to any of you who grew up in the 80s? Oh, he's getting jiggy with it. Ah! I love it.
This is Nagel or Nigel? Nigel? 1980s, and I'm rocking the
rose quartz.
Oh yeah, tell them about the rose quartz, honey.
Rose quartz is very special. When I think of rose quartz, it resonates for me with Mother Mary and this divine mother, this embracing unconditional love that's heart healing. It's about the openness and the receptivity of not just giving but also receiving and allowing that love to pour in.
Isn't she amazing?
Aww.
So I heard you talking about kombucha. Somebody was concerned about getting drunk on it. I've heard that quite a bit too.
Yeah.
So.
Excuse me, I still have a little tickle in my throat because it's dry. When it gets colder here in Florida, I have to turn on the heat and it kind of dries out the air and the atmosphere. So you wouldn't think with the humidity we have down here, but I need to hydrate even more. Speaking of hydration.
Hi, Erin.
So David was asking because he said he cannot have it for the alcohol.
So what are we going to make today? We're going to do first the coffee kombucha?
Yeah, we could do that.
Cool. I'll crack these open for you.
That's for the coconut yogurt. Coffee kombucha fridge is so dry here, Holly says. Incredibly dry. Exactly. And just increasing your intake of healthy fats like the avocados or even like the coconut, right? We need the hydration. It's not just the fats either, though. It's really about hydrating a lot more.
We got these at Whole Foods, or Whole Paycheck. Kind of last thing after we went and saw Star Wars, and these were $4 a piece.
Yeah, $3.99.
$3.99 a piece, but she's gonna make some coconut almond yogurt with these, or just coconut date yogurt.
Yeah.
Coconut date yogurt. Word.
And he's pretty rad with opening a coconut, so I'm pretty grateful for that. So one of the first things I usually do. Y'all know I wear my Larimar. These are my favorite rings. Speaking of Mother Mary, I actually have an image. I don't know if you can see her. She's in this ring here. She's wearing a cloak. For those of you who resonate. And then this other one is they're two different styles of Larimar. Right?
Ooh, those are what you're looking for, or no?
No, my earrings that are missing are actually not tanzanite. They're tourmaline, I think.
I've worn those before.
I'm sure.
On the pinkies? Pinky poppers?
I love when
they look like turquoise, though.
Turquoise is more deep. Is a deeper blue. It's more turquoisey blue, like the sea. This is more blue, like the sky. This leans a little bit more toward turquoise. I don't think I have a green turquoise, but I don't actually have a regular turquoise. Cool. My mom loved turquoise. That's my mom's stone. Now, I was missing a stone out of one of my necklaces, and I found it. I had this morning wake up, and it was check the trash, the canister of the what's it called? Vacuum cleaner. Sure enough, what do you think happened when I opened up the vacuum cleaner canister? I found my little stone that goes to that necklace it fell out of.
Ah, so it was on the floor.
Well, it was at one point, but it got picked up when I was vacuuming the carpet. Thank you, my Bonnie. How are you? Happy New Year to you. Happy blessings and abundance for all, right? That pretty. This is azurite. Like azure, the French for sea, because it's a sea stone. Again, it's another one of those high vibe stones that resonate with the dolphins, which is why I love Larimar so much. Yeah. So, oh, look at you. You're finding little things hooked onto you.
It doesn't have any pockets.
No
if I
pockets.
had pockets, but I would took this off. All right, so let's start on the kombucha.
Okay, so we're going to start on kombucha. Pretty stoked about the kombucha.
You want to go over this first?
Yes.
These are sweating.
Because I took them out of the fridge. I don't know if you've all tried this. We'll post the links a little bit later for these particular little goodies that we're playing with, the tools. This is Chameleon Cold Brewed Organic Pecan Coffee. Let me tell you, just by itself does not require any sugar. It says that it's filtered water, organic, ethically sourced coffee, and natural flavor. That's the only thing that's in there. What's the natural flavor? I'm not sure. I'm actually taking a chance.
Columbus did.
Yes, we all do, right? So when you know better, you do better. I'll know better here and there along the way.
Now, is it pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
Pecan? I think I say pecan too. Do y'all say pecan or pecan? 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 So natural flavors, what do you think that is? That's a hidden secret that they don't want to put in there.
Sometimes when you can contact, hi Jameson, Julie, you can tell your son hi for us. Hope you're enjoying your New Year's Eve safely. We're keeping it cool and rad in the kitchen at home tonight.
Do you think the natural flavors could be a preservative that they don't want you to know?
It could be a mix, and you know, honestly, we could contact them directly and ask. Did it shake? Oh,
no, we don't want to shake it, right?
No, that's
shake.
kombucha.
We can shake this?
Yes, because sometimes the coffee will settle on the bottom, and you get a little bit of a foamy thing.
Are you only using one?
I'm going to use both.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull this big jar. It's a 2-gallon jar of kombucha that I've got over here that I have to pour into. This gets pretty interesting. So here is what I'm going to do, and you're going to have fun with this.
Whoa, that's potent. Look at that, y'all. Lift that up. Let me hold this. I'll be your holder.
He's my big, strong man.
If y'all haven't seen this, this is a SCOBY. Oh, look at that love action. If y'all are in any kombucha groups, share this in a kombucha group. Now, this cannot be in direct sunlight, right?
Well, yeah, you could end up frying it or cooking it. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do, and normally we don't use metal with this, but I'm going to take out one of those layers of SCOBY, and I'm going to make SCOBY leather, kombucha leather, like I did before I went on solstice. And if you didn't see Tom's video, baby, that's what I like. You can put that in there. That's good. Put this here.
Well, they can't see it. Do you need it there?
I will when I'm transferring the liquid.
That's got a funky smell.
Because it needs to be stirred. Shaken, not stirred.
And then when that thing, if y'all can't see, look how big this is. This thing is massive. I don't know if the camera does. Look how big this is.
That's a 2-gallon jar.
This thing is huge.
See what I'm doing?
And you just keep adding to it, right?
I take all the liquid out and then I add again. And what I'm also going to use is I'm going to use coconut water that I picked up at Sprouts. I'm going to use these two.
This is Sprouts version. What were these? Probably $2.99?
Yeah, I think so.
$2.99. And Sprouts coconut water is fat-free, low in sodium, and rich in potassium. Our product is made with 100% coconut water and no added sugar or flavors.
That's neat.
Boom. We've done a lot of coconut water reviews. I used to like Amy and Brian's, I think, Honest Harvest, whatever it is.
Honest Harvest is
Honest Harvest. It's really expensive. This is a lot less expensive. And I think it's perfect for what you do, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I were wanting to drink it, I'd totally jump on Honest if that was my option and I could. But right now, what I'm doing is using this mostly because it's sugar. There's a natural sugar in coconut water that's...
They can't see.
I know they can't see it.
I thought I'd hold it for you.
You can hold it.
I'll hold it while you stir.
See how foamy it got on top? Let me just put that over there.
So you use a wooden spoon.
I use the wooden spoon because the metal is supposedly, what's the word? It has a chemical reaction is really the best way to put it. SCOBY leather, yes, Alex. This is what I did a couple weeks ago. I made up some beautiful berry Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
The fruit roll-ups.
They were so good.
They were really, really good.
And you can't tell that it was a SCOBY because the way that I flavored it.
They were delicious. If y'all want the recipe, it was kombucha fruit roll-ups, and they were so good. I ate all of them. I even dipped them in, what did we have?
The
You had
coconut
that
yogurt.
No, you had a cherry
Chocolate.
a cherry chocolate mousse or something that I was playing with.
Which isn't s'more in there from last night that I made. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take one of these scobies out and I'm going to put it in this bowl to drain off the liquid because I'm going to make a chocolate coffee kombucha.
How delicious does that sound? Look, she's got, I don't know, we're kind of short, huh? Typically, well, I would say a few. Typically, she's got
a whole
like
refrigerator
probably
full.
15 of them. She's just got kombuchas all over the place.
And those are volatile bottles, we'll call those.
Yeah, I will not open this. I made a big mistake. If you all are not in the group, go to RADiculously, RawThentic, our group, and to go there and play because it's a lot of fun. But I opened one of these when I was doing that, and it exploded all over the living room.
I was watching while I just happened to catch him go live, and I'm like going, no! He does this. I hold down, and I know immediately when I pop it, I look at it and go, oh, there it goes, and I click it real quick because it's all about like quick on the action. Because if you just go, it's so quick. You didn't even have to shake it actually, and I know he shook it because he shook it twice to show everyone.
Okay, so we're gonna strain it.
Excuse me. So, yes. So, what... Ooh, itchies. There's a lot of SCOBY going on in here.
Whoa! Do you want to pull?
Yeah, you can pick it up.
No, I don't want to pick it up.
Here, if you set it here, I can...
Check this out. This is
It's going to get lighter when you pick it up anyway, because I'm...
Look at this.
These are what are so heavy. It's the SCOBYs.
She makes the best kombucha in the world. I'm not kidding. I'm really, really spoiled staying here with...
Look how thick this is, people. That's a lot.
Can you pick it up higher?
I can, but I just want to. I want to do.
You want to give them some.
I want to separate them real quick. Right? It didn't get you an eye, did it?
Oh, what? No, wait. Did it?
This is layers.
Did it just grow like that?
Yeah, it grows in layers. In case you're wondering.
Wow.
Yeah, he's getting a.
It looks like an alien placenta. Does it not?
Could look like placenta too. I've never thought about it that way. It's pretty rad, huh?
Yeah.
It's cellulose, basically. Take the sugar, the whole chemical process of how this works. The SCOBY itself is stimulated by the caffeine in the coffee or tea, depending on how you're making it. And it eats the sugar, and it's kind of like this threading process, and it creates... Did it? I don't want to get it on your new jacket.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm just looking at Buddy.
What I'm doing is trying to separate it because there are like 4 or 5 growing here. And so, like, see this little one here?
That's a little SCOBY.
See there, I actually put this little one from another batch.
Here, put it all the way up to the camera. All the way up. Give him a good close look at that. Look at that.
That's the small one.
Higher. Give him, look at that. That looks like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that cool?
And so the biggie, the
big one.
the big ends are right here.
Look at that.
I know that's what makes the whole thing so heavy.
Now see, on a mass scale, all the big brands, do they have just huge manufacturer thing that have just, I mean, what's the biggest SCOBY ever made?
You know what? And they use SCOBYs, you can use these in clothing lines. I know that if you bring it this way so I can transfer real quick.
There you go.
Okay, okay, good. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this sit while we're doing this anyway. You can keep that over here. Here, just place that right. Thank you, darling. I love having a big, strong man in the kitchen. It's so helpful.
Everybody.
And so, I'm going to actually take the little one out too. Because these patties get so thick. And, you know, you got to recycle them out. Oh, I was going to put one of these in there.
Oh, do it on here.
Thank you. So I like to try to squeeze it out because there's so much, and it really will. It'll excrete a whole lot of liquid still.
Now, I mean, doesn't that kind of look like chicken breast? If you just go like one of these numbers, if you just like, you know, like when you look at it and just glance?
Especially when you're used to seeing chicken breast, yes.
That looks like a chicken breast, doesn't it? Throw a little seasoning on there. Throw it on the grill.
Okay. So since your hands are dry, go ahead and put that down there. And do me a favor and pull out the lid and put it back on top.
This right here?
Yes, please and thank you. I'm going to wash my hands.
Whoosh. Whoosh.
Okay, I'm coming over so I can wash my hands. Hot. Thank you. So one thing I want you to all be aware, it is staining. Kombucha, tea, or coffee will stain. The liquid will stain. So like this is one of the reasons when I clean out my sink and my utensils and I try not to make spots. If you're using a towel or anything, it will stain and change the color, especially if it's white or was white.
It will stain even more when you add the whatever you add to it. It'll probably be extra stainage, right?
It stains more than just regular coffee or tea. Yeah.
Just that?
Yeah. If you ever notice in the sink, that's why I try to rinse around it so much because I have a white sink. Yeah. Isn't that a rad jacket?
Forever 21.
We had a little bit of fun waiting for the movie to start.
We were gonna go ice skating, but we're gonna probably do that soon.
Yeah.
And then what else were we gonna do?
Food review restaurant thing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go do a food review too, but we didn't end up doing that. But Star Wars was really, really cool. The ending, and I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I think I've seen all of them. I don't really remember all of them. But the ending, like the last 10 minutes, is really, really good. The last 10 minutes of that Star Wars movie, you're like, whoa. And we did the D-Box, where you're like in a roller coaster, like every you're like
It's like having a massage during a movie. I kind of liked it.
You really feel the force in this D-Box, and it's double the price.
Yeah.
Tickets were normally the $7.50, but if you go to the D-Box, they're $15.50. But it was cool. They only put like maybe 40 seats in the theater, and they're all like little roller coaster seats, and you get like the extra surround sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then we snuck. We were gonna do a video, but we didn't want to get caught with cameras. We snuck all our raw food in there. So what did we have? We had cut up celery and carrots. What else do we have?
We had the taco meat that I made with the Brazil nuts.
The taco meat, which I call the Doritos nacho cheese. We ate it all, and then we brought a kombucha. We brought
one of these,
and that was really, really good. This is Marcos. We saved that kind of packaged stuff just for like, a celebration like it is New Year's. And then we had
chocolate pudding,
and we had this big old satchel or purse with all of our scarves in there. And what's weird is you have like this little chauffeur dude at the D-Box, like you get seated. So like typically I like to go to a movie theater like a half hour, 45 minutes early and no one's there. But like you're seated, like the chauffeur puts you in your seat because each seat's accounted for. And so we couldn't do a video, but when all the lights turned off, we just had all our stuff. And did you sense anybody like looking at you kind of different on the quiet scenes when you're chomping down on the carrots?
I wasn't paying attention.
I was chomping down on those carrots and this guy's like looking at me all loud. But look, this was a really, really cool food and beverage place with the theater. And they had all the normal popcorns, but they had like self-serve ice cream and stuff. All yummy nastiness, all kind of gross, but yummy at the same time. But with what we ate, we could have took to a picnic, prepared and stuff. That would have been $70 worth of stuff. But you could get $70 worth of stuff. A soda's like $8. A hamburger is like $9. A pretzel, and then if you get the extra cheese, right? Then that's 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, 2 people, 3, 4. It'd be $100. And we ate like raw radsters in there, and it was delicious. And we just had the kombucha, and that was it. The only thing I wish we would have had is maybe some water.
Yeah, in fact, I thought about that, but the bag was heavy.
Yeah, it was super heavy.
Yeah.
So that's what we did today. But we are going to go ice skating, and we are going to keep doing those food reviews. So sorry about that. That looks like chicken breast to me. I got to get that out of my mind.
It's all the smells that were wafting around the mall when we pulled up, and he's like, "Do you smell that burger?" This is the first thing he says.
Oh, when we got out of the car, I'm like, "Do you smell those French fries?" I'm like, "Do you smell those burgers?" I'm like, "Let's go eat some burgers. Let's go have a steak." Like, I won't do that. Like, I'm not doing that. But it's fun to play that way because all that stuff still tastes good, and I still like that stuff. I just don't want to eat it, and it's powerful because it makes you want. Like, I want some. Some pickles on that burger with some cheese and some onions and some mushrooms, right? And a big bun, right? With a large Coke. And then when you're at the theater, all the promotions, all the sponsors are Coke and they got the sizzling stuff. And you're like, yo, man, it's like hard not to drink soda when you're at the movie theaters. It's all super marketing, but it's fun to kind of play with your brain and tempt yourself. It's like kind of like masturbating your brain.
Well,
to be honest, it is, but then not masturbating. Food's really, really powerful when they add the marketing too, and then you don't have the knowledge of the real food and stuff. You just keep going like this. You just keep going like this, and then it numbs you down, and you just keep going like this because it tastes so good.
Yeah, in fact, what did we saw? Coca-Cola was definitely a big sponsor. We watched 3 car ads. Mm-hmm. There was.
We actually saw commercials. I haven't seen commercials in a long time.
It was a good half an hour. He's pinky popping and he's drinking. Actually, I won't say it now, but technically.
Was that not good to do?
There's a mixing of saliva in the coffee that's going to go in there.
Don't use this one now. Use this one.
Oh, no, we're using it. I'm just going to have to suck it up and hopefully...
So any of our Yogolini friends, you might have some of my slab. But I didn't. She brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I don't think I slobbered in there.
No, we always have a backwash if it touches your lips. Unless you're doing a fountain, like you call it.
Do you want to have our first tickle war?
I still kick his butt.
She thinks she could whoop me at wrestling.
I totally kick his butt.
Look at this. Look at the size difference, y'all. Just look at this, right? So when we're just rapping and chillaxing, I'm gonna show you what I see. Okay, this is what I see.
He cracks me up.
This is what I see.
He does it.
That's what, and I'm supposed to take her like, if she gets all like, she is really, really powerful though. But like, if she gets all serious, this is what I see. Like she's all down here, and I'm like,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't handle this.
Let's do a booty pop. Ooh. She does have a way bigger butt than me. Here's our movie tickets. Star Wars. D-Box. Now, who came up with that? D-Box. Okay. Get the chicken breast now. You know everybody's grilling right now and marinating. You know that sounds good, too.
You want to try some of this?
Yeah.
Grab yourself one of those.
Wait, just the raw stuff?
No, those.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that,
Yeah.
Have I? What do you want to do? One of these?
Yes, please. So, here's what sometimes I like to taste it and see how sweet it is. Hey, Nikki.
What's up, Nikki? Nikki's in the house. Nikki, your photography's getting good. It looks like you ain't scared no more. Looks like you're up in your game on your social media. You stopped letting me play with you, though. I only gave you a taste, and you're like, no, I'm good. Everybody keeps doing that.
Put that back.
Everybody keeps doing it like, oh, no, I got this. And then you really don't got this. I'm telling you. I'll keep playing with you if you want me to. See, it doesn't smell good at all, though.
It's okay. It doesn't have to smell good.
It's a little sour. Can you see us? It's the light.
Yeah, the light changes. It's kind of
Watch.
Okay.
It's because it's my rad jacket. No, there you go. Now come back. Hiya.
Come into the light. It needs to sit and ferment a little longer, as far as in the bottle to create the fizz. But you feel the sweetness in the coffee, and it tastes.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
you know what it is? Is I like it cold.
Yes.
That's what it is. I'm finding out that I like. Oh, I could go on for this. I like that cold. I like pudding cold. I do not like my salads really, really cold at all, especially in the winter. And I think that's why my body's been calling for quinoa and stuff. She can eat cold stuff all day long. It doesn't bother her.
No, during this time of year, I change because of the comfort foods come in. That's what I was telling you before on other videos where I was saying that it's when it's gourd season, when it's sweet potato season, that for me is my go-to. I absolutely love quinoa. I have a quinoa lover over here, so it makes it more fun because somebody's been cooking quinoa really sweet for me.
I've had quinoa 3 days in a row, y'all. And there's 3 different brands, and we posted the links. And some of them are just good by themselves. You could throw a little bit of salt on them. I haven't put any oils on them. You could throw some onions in there. What have we done? We've done a bunch of different mixes. Her kimchi, just straight on the quinoa. It's just something about warm. I mean, I love raw foods and I'll always eat raw foods, but it gets to the point where you're like, all right, I need something a little bit different. So now I have ninja flipped into some soaked
your steel cut oats.
My steel cut oats. You know what I mean? Because smoothies are good all day, every day, but it's like sometimes your body calls for something different. And so, that's why I don't think I'll ever just stick to one set plan. That's what's rad about our meal plan, is because every week it's different.
There's a mix of all different types.
And then you can learn, there's over 200 recipes there. Then you can grab like 20, 30 rad recipes and make them staples, and then just eat them whenever you want.
Yeah, and we'll be the first to tell you that, it gives you so many options that we made it for people with families and, more than one person, because I can't eat all that food in 1 week. I don't eat that much anymore. But for transition...
She doesn't. And I don't really eat that much either, but for some people that go on to week 1, they're like, this is not enough food. Some people are like, this is too much food. Yeah. So it really just depends on, and that just shows you everybody's totally, even if they're on the yummy nastiness, people might be eating pizzas, or people might just be eating, seafood a lot, so they're all just different. One might be more dehydrated than the other. One might live in a different climate. Mm-hmm.
So here's the first bottle.
I wish they could see that.
They can.
They can't see that.
They can't see this?
No, the whole process is what is key.
Basically, I use a funnel to put it in the bottle and a filter to keep the threads out, because...
It's okay. We'll test it. It's okay. You can get a little dirty. See? They gotta see this. So go over it. What are they seeing?
That's what I filter through. I do this. Watch. Let me show you. I put this funnel, and this goes on top, and I scoop it in like this. And the reason I scoop it, I'll show you right here. See that? That's threading, because that's part of the SCOBY as it forms, is it creates threads. Like I said, it's like it knits the cellulose, the symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, which is what the SCOBY is, symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It creates that cellulose, it knits it with threads, right? Isn't that rad?
I'll be right back. When you keep flowing, and then when you need me, I'll open these.
Yes.
I'll let her get back to her flow, but when you need me, I'll karate chop these open.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and it really truly is exactly, when the seasons are changing, you're going to have, just like life, you're ebb and flowing. You're constantly expanding and contracting at all times. You have to recognize what is it your body is calling for. And there's also this moment of discerning whether or not it's comfort food coming from the mind reaching for something that is familiar too. I know for myself, I've experienced that over the years, even though I eat mostly raw vegan foods, raw whole foods, plant-based. Let's drop the vegan, let's drop the dogma, let's drop the labels, because it doesn't serve. What I have found for me, real food from the earth, nature source, I still do honey on occasion. Honey comes from bees, that the bees are providing a service. I do know that there's some processes out there in how they acquire the honey. The honey may contain, unfortunately, some bees in them, and hopefully it doesn't always happen that way. But the idea is that we have to drop all these dogma, all these labels, all these belief systems, because they don't serve us. They actually keep us held back from moving forward in life. One of the things I really got a beautiful download the other day, and it was, and it's very simple, but really think about it for some way in your life, how your belief systems are really what continue to create what you experience. If you believe this, then that is exactly your reality. That is exactly what you will experience. If you turn around and you have this really strong, whether unconscious, subconscious, or conscious, subconscious, or unconscious, because the deeper it is in your psyche, because we've been conditioned since birth. We've been conditioned even before birth. While we're in the womb, we are absorbing the emotions of our mother, the experiences that she's having. Her belief systems all go into us on a cellular level. And when you are so caught up in that you can't drop it and you're still reliving your experiences but can't see the association, the flow, then that's, again, life shows up to you where you're at. But if you were to really just flush it all and cleanse it all and be without attached to the rules, the belief that it has to be this way or I have to do things this way, that I am limited. We're unlimited beings, people. We are all unlimited beings. The only thing that limits us is the mind, is the belief system, is your personal experiences and filtration system of what all you've been through and what you attach to. When you can drop all of that, can you imagine the possibilities are endless? And when I say that, I mean it from the perspective of no dogma in religion, no dogma in the rules, no, oh, well, that's bad or this is good. When you swing on that pendulum and you get attached to the good or the bad or the dark or the light, instead of just being present in the moment, being appreciative of what you have, being in gratitude for all that is unfolding before you, with you, in this moment, creating the momentum, there is no need to truly even be in a space of I have to do when you're just being, because it will all come to you. It's called pull marketing, pull life, pull things to you, draw them into your life. Your radiance is so bright when you're in your personal power. You have a strong nervous system. Your awareness is key in the brain of breathing, recognizing, feeling fully, all of your senses alivened. And you don't allow the externals to affect you, which, by the way, your environment, what you choose to listen to, what you choose to look at, what you choose to hear, to see, to taste, to touch. Your senses are heightened at any point in your life. What you choose to expose your senses to is what vibration you will also resonate. So if you feel agitated, ask yourself, is that really you? Or what did you expose yourself that now you've taken on that exterior and created it and made it your own? How about the stories of others? Haven't you ever heard a story? Somebody will tell you this story, their story. How is that serving them? But then now maybe you take on a bit of that story. It's really about being very discerning in what you allow into your being. When you allow someone else's story to penetrate your own, you're taking on something, you're attaching to something that's not even yours. Or the idea that poor person over there, you're projecting yourself upon that person, because what we do, and we don't even realize we're always judging, is that when we see somebody we consider sad, poor, diseased, is really a projection of us comparing ourselves and our situation to that person. We don't know their story. And the neutrality in all of that needs to be, that person's going through their experience and I'm going through mine. And not trying to take away from it or put upon it, right?
Honey,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. This is not interrupting you. You need to.
I'm okay. It actually interrupted what I was trying to say, but if you all got it, that's all that matters. It's all good. So really what it boils down to is recognizing, do you take on other people's stuff? Because a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it. People will tell us something and then we'll repeat it, right? Even though you may not be the type of person to say, "Oh, I'm a very reliable person." If you tell someone else's story, you're also living the story. So every time you tell a story with yours or someone else's, you're actually living it too, because it's a vibration. The story, the words, it's all vibration. So energy, people. You got to be very conscientious and aware of where your attention is going, because that's where your energy is flowing.
Yeah! Yeah!
What is what? What is it,
Hey, do it, honey.
Oh.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Wait, go.
Yeah!
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 That after what that download you just shared, we should all on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know how much I love you.
When anybody's in your flow, and anybody's in the camera, you should still be able to keep going. That's something I have to learn though too. Because if you notice, it's very rare, except for like when Jordan would ninja slide up into the kitchen, that I would do the lives, like if somebody's peeking around the corner or something like that. Because it's like, you're all just like, and now I kind of realize how actors and actresses are. Can you imagine that torture? Like, take 30? Like, no thanks. I don't want to take 30. So, like, when you're sharing your download, I'm all showing those because I was really important. Tell them what those are.
These are the buds of sorrel. So sorrel is from the hibiscus family. Those in Jamaica know exactly what this is. We took the flowers off, and this is the bud, and we're going to plant them in the backyard because we're going to see about growing it.
They're sour.
So they're known as sweet and sour, sour leaf, which is rad. Oh man, he goes through more almond butter than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It actually makes my stomach a little sore when I think about it. Because my stomach, I gotta have more hydrating foods. I don't like to... So oils, if you do handle kombucha, you do not want any oils on your hands, which is why it's very important to wash your hands. Wash your hands. No metal.
Keep flowing.
You know what I need?
Huggies!
Ah,
So you gotta pick her
hug.
up, and then she starts crack-a-lacking. Look at it.
Did you spray perfume on you too?
No!
You smell good.
That's my Evanescence.
It might be me.
Look at Buddy came in, he still got his blankie on.
Can you see Buddy with his orange and raspberry blankie?
There's
It's
fireworks because of this
hanging
made-believe thing, New Year's, and it's really not cool for animals, y'all, at all.
It's
not
very...
cool at all. It's a waste of pollution, money, celebration, all that stuff, and it hurts animals' ears really bad.
It really makes them think that the end of the world is coming. So we have 2 bottles of the coffee kombucha. I know I'm going to get a couple more bottles out of this. I'm going to place these back here. This is my safe spot, is in the back of the stove top, because it's not, I don't use the stove very often. So let me see what I got for bottles, because I really need to clean some. I have several bottles that I brought back from Solstice, and several bottles that I came home that need to be cleaned, and my dad brought some bottles by. And so what I do, I'm very meticulous when it comes to cleaning my bottles. Everything gets cleaned by hand. It's really good, actually. The pecan flavor has kind of a mocha flavor to it. And I may add, you know what I'll do? I'll add some chocolate, because you haven't done like my chocolate kombucha. Sometimes what I'll do, raw cacao.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I've got 2 bottles I gotta clean. I'm actually gonna have to get deep and dirty with these and pull out the piece that goes in. Let me tell y'all, the time that I spend in my kitchen, and if I ever lend you a bottle of kombucha, the best thing you could ever do is just send it back to me with soapy water inside, because otherwise I gotta pull this thing out. And you imagine putting this down this hole. It takes a lot of time and effort. I'm just gonna say that.
And she's really, really aggro about it. Like, she'll make each one pristine.
Meticulous.
Aggro. Hey, what fleek? When did y'all hear the word fleek? And what does it mean to you, like, on fleek? Because I think it means, like, super rad or, like, way awesome. But in the comment section, have you heard of fleek? Because we were talking about that, remember?
Yeah, I asked today, where did this
fleek.
word fleek come from? Because I'm just totally out of, like, fashion, apparently. I was living in Europe. I never heard this word fleek until Bitmoji had on fleek or something in a Bitmoji sticker. And I'm looking at that going, what the heck does fleek mean? And I haven't taken time to go look it up because, you know, it's just not a priority in my life. So we were talking about it. I said, where did it come from?
Show them how you do that.
I go around I have a little scrubby.
It's beautiful.
And it's dedicated for the kombucha bottles.
So it's a kombucha scrubby.
I flip up this part and I go up and around on the inside of that. I have soapy water.
Meticulous.
I go in around the top, on point, on fleek. But where did it come from, Crispy?
Probably Flocka Waka, the rapper.
See, I don't even know who Flocka Waka is.
I think his name is Flocka Waka.
I kind of like that.
Right? See, now somebody could think that that is true
waka.
if I just made something up, and then generations be like, yeah, there's a rapper, Flocka Waka. He created this name, Fleek. And then 2,000 years or whatever, 5,000, like, yeah, this rapper, Flocka Waka, he made this name, Fleek.
Hi, Kia. So what I do is I put it in there with just enough soapy water to move it, right? And I use this force to shake it up and shake it so that it touches every part of the... Yeah, I'm this...
You shook me. I felt that energy. Ooh, golly.
Oh, I love it. He's a rhymer.
I gotta pee.
TMI. I'm so blind. Flask Waka Flame, is that right? I don't know. He said Flocka Waka. I'm not sure what that all was. He's gonna come out with a baboofa, you watch. So I'm very, like I said, I'm very meticulous about that. Flocka Waka Flame. I don't know. Apparently it's a rapper. And you know what it is? I really, ever since I changed my lifestyle significantly over the years, and I listen to all types of music. There's some music that I can't tolerate just because on a vibrational level, it just, stuff I used to listen to, it doesn't resonate with me, and it really hits a chord in my ear. He thinks I listen to mantra too loud sometimes. I think he listens to podcasts too loud, and sometimes those vibrations are a little too, like not good for the energy. Like, I don't know, this word aggro sounds like aggressive and angry. I don't know why, but I'm not a very aggressive or angry person. I try to breathe through everything and have compassion for everyone because I know where I've been in my life. I know I'm not perfect, and I've had my own moments back in the day. Certain musics, if it's of a low vibration, is just going to bring you to the low vibration. So again, it goes back to being very selective and attentive to your environment. If you have no control over your environment, you have control over how you respond and react to it. And that will show how strong your nervous system is. If your nervous system is weak, then you're not going to be able to tolerate a lot of different things. And you're going to expect everything around you to accommodate you, versus strong immune system and a strong nervous system. You can sit in the most chaos and be the calm in that storm. And that's really what the key of all meditation, breathing, and everything in this life is about, is not being reactionary to what's going on around you, but going with the flow and not attaching.
So remember today when I said that this works as an awesome shaving cream?
Yes.
Look at this, y'all. This is hand soap everyday shea with moringa leaf and argan oil, and that's vanilla passion. And I use this as shaving cream the last 2 days, but I use it again today. It replaces all shaving cream. This is the bomb for shaving. Like, I had Kiss My Face shaving cream, and then like any shaving cream, like a good one, they're like $8, $9, $10, $11 for like a fancy one. You guys out there, this is the bomb. When you come out of the shower and you're still exploding or whatever, the heatness, lather a bunch of this on and let it sit, and it's the best shit, and it's hand soap. Multitask. What's this brand name?
Alafia.
What?
See, and then I'm like this. This is how obsessive I am. I go up to the light and make sure that if I have any, and I wipe the outside of the bottle. If there's anything excess in the inside of this bottle, then I will end up having to use that big scrubby thing, which I have a bunch of bottles I have to do that with now because I know they're going to sit. I'm going to use this now. So
how many do we have to do?
Well, right now I'm just doing 2. Hopefully, I'm probably going to need another one for that. So I'll have to. It's better for me to wash these and use the ones that need to be used than to go and grab clean ones already, because these are going to need to be used anyway. Plus, I have another 2-gallon, that's a full 2-gallon of regular kombucha that needs to be brewed. That'll be done later because that's going to take more time. But the coffee I really wanted to share is something special. So I just wanted to give you all a taste of how I do that. So see how that one is? There's a little, oh, that's the outside of the bottle. See, I'm just that crazy. Well, and that's scratched on the outside of the bottle, so I know that. Because I know my bottles. I like know things sometimes, and it's hard to explain to people, and they don't always have to get me. Do you see dead people? Thankfully, no. I could just turn that one off a long time ago.
You know that Star Wars movie had me thinking, like, they had all these Jedi things.
Like things like what?
It's like all sorts of stuff. They were moving rocks.
Wasn't that rad?
They were moving people.
Wasn't it rad, the beauty of the crystals inside that? The red crystals, which they said was salt?
Oh, yeah. On that other planet? Yeah. That was really, really cool. It almost looked like blood.
Like my pants. Blood red, right?
Yeah.
Really, really pretty. He's so cute. Look, boom.
Boom. If y'all want this shirt, reach out to Chalice. He's got like 10 of them. It's Lulu.
Okay, we're gonna start more bottles. What I'm gonna do first is going to put some of the coffee in this, the cacao. So up here, I put the cacao in these containers. Get away from this.
Love that stuff. Put that with bananas and water, and done. Frozen bananas and water, done.
Maybe some dates. Maybe a little vanilla. So we had, you told them about the cats out back, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, check this out. Today I had I don't know, you can tell me what one. It's this one.
Stones.
This one right here. So, what is this one?
Lavender quartz.
This lavender quartz I slept with last night. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I don't make stuff up anymore. Came outside, and yesterday, I forget her name, she posted a rad photo of this cat with green eyes, right? And then in the comment section of the thread, they were talking about tuxedo cats, right? This morning, a tuxedo cat walked by the back door like this slow. Just, I don't even know the word, all just, like his ish was not hot.
Had his
like just
swagger
he
on.
or she, and I was like, that's a tuxedo cat. Right? And so I was like, and I started getting my cat skills on. Because that one cat, when I went outside, remember that bigger cat, just looked at me like this. And we had a conversation for 6 minutes and didn't say a word. And then Buddy was doing his thing and didn't move. Then I had this one today. And I've never seen any of these two cats until, after that life-changing experience. And then I tried to get my cat stuff on. And I walked, because I wanted to go really slow. And the cat was gone. Like, within 2 seconds of passing and he wasn't running, he was just cat-like. And within 2 seconds of him turning the corner, I put my head, and he or she was gone. But I didn't know what a tuxedo cat was, and then a tuxedo cat came and saw me.
So I think it's my neighbor's cat is what I was telling him earlier, because I have the neighbors around me have cats, and then we have the neighborhood cats. And there's a white one too, a big fluffy white one that every once in a while will come by. So I put about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit, maybe 2 teaspoons of raw cacao powder. And the trick to this is you have to, it's going to get messy and it really is sticky stuff. So I know what you're thinking.
Watch this, let's talk about this. What am I thinking? We keep it raw, stay raw. What am I thinking?
It's okay. You can drop a little bit of sticky stuff in the sink and then rinse it out.
First off, I don't know anybody that talks like that, let alone me. So are you mimicking me? Like, first off, do I talk like that?
You do that for me.
No, I do not. And that's how some people talk about dudes. Yeah, well, this one guy was talking about. Like, why do people do that when they're talking about somebody else that they make up another voice?
Just to be playful.
But yes,
Happy New Year's, everyone.
You don't want to.
I'm just about trying to keep it as tidy as possible because then I don't have to go back and clean it up.
That's later. What you have me here for. I'm your sous ninja. That was a baboofa.
Hold on, I'll work one up for you.
Yeah, hey, she's got all 3 records in his house. All 3 records by a long shot. She can baboofa like nobody's biz.
He held me in his spot the other day.
She is really, really powerful. She's not short. She's really, really powerful.
He's like giving me a hug, and I'm like,
you all would be amazed at like
his
the
skills.
Richter scale that she could break with those baboofas.
I don't know what he's talking about.
For the really release. Y'all know you baboofa too. Some people, adults don't like talk about baboofa. Like, I bet you just baboofa right now. You baboofa. I think I'm sidetracking her tonight, but I'm testing her ninja skills, so that's why I'm playing.
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
So take off all your clothes. I'm getting so hot. I want to take my clothes.
Okay, step by step.
Okay, so I just put
Ooh, baby. No, just kidding. Go ahead, continue.
2 tablespoons of raw cacao powder in here. And now this is the coffee kombucha. I'm actually going to put 3 drops of vanilla stevia in here too. Because I want to kind of, because this is going to be really, really good. Where'd it go? Oh, it's back here. So again, here's the vanilla stevia. We're going to drop the links in the bottom here in the comments later. See that? Organic liquid stevia, 0 calorie. I have, I had Tom try this stevia the other day. I have it dried. You know where it is? Top. In the little white one. So I have seeds and I need to regrow it because I can, this stuff is like proliferates like you have no idea. Stevia is the bomb diggity. You get it fresh. Just chewing on the leaf is amazing.
It popped my cherry. This does not look like what it tastes like. You don't need to brush your teeth anymore. You don't need any croissettes, secrets, minties, tic-tac-toes. You just grab one of these, y'all, and it does not look like, you just grab one of these and you just put it in your mouth and you're good to go. You can go out and go to school. You make out the girl behind the tree and it like
freshens your breath.
It's so powerful. You would think this would taste like a vegetable. It's actually too much.
It's pretty potent. Yeah.
I always call it sativia, but it's stevia.
Stevia. Oh, that's cannabis.
And the stuff is a little pricey. Did you show it to him? Where'd it go?
Oh, that?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. What was it?
It's like
15?
Anywhere you go, like an Amazon link is like $11 to $15, but you don't need much, right?
Yeah, it lasts a while actually.
And you have a bunch of different
Flavors.
Here's different flavor.
We have the butterscotch and we have lemon. The last batch that we ordered was the lemon and the vanilla. The butterscotch I like to use for making chocolate puddings and chocolate and stuff like that.
Lemon. These are all toys. Once you start playing in your kitchen,
Oh baby.
you gotta have toys. And then you make your own playground in there, and then your kids will start playing in there too. But every little thing is a toy. These are toys. Look how many little toys I have in this little white toy box. This is a toy box.
You're enjoying that too.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
I like when my mint and my stevia plants are growing and just grabbing a bunch of leaves and the two together. It's like having fresh breath, a mint right there. You just take the mint leaves and some of the stevia leaves. When they're fresh is the best. And then it's like, there you go.
You just put these in a Ziploc bag in your car door, and when you got some bad breath, just grab one and just chew on it, and your bad breath be gone. And it's just a plant. And you've had these for how long?
This year. So I don't know how many months it's been, but I keep meaning to put more in the pots so that they will proliferate again, because I had a whole big pot back there and I didn't use it all. And it you can grow it. It's like a weed. It's super awesome. So
bad breath be gone. It's bad breath. Breath.
So this is the mocha, and I put 2 drops of butterscotch and 3 drops of vanilla stevia. And you could tell the difference between the 2 bottles because one is thicker, darker, see that? Darker, and lighter, more translucent, opaque, right? Meaning you could see through it. It's Buddy looks at me, because when Buddy sees me in the kitchen, he's always wondering, like, okay, what you gonna feed me? But he's my little watchdog. I love that he's my buddy. Literally. He checks on me. He watches over me. And I have to watch over him tonight because there's that noise stuff going on outside we're not too happy about. I'm going to do another, I got a lot of action. I can actually brew a lot of this, which is surprising. I've started doing this coffee kombucha, and it is... It is yummy. So I'm going to add more of this cacao. So like I was saying, the key is if you do raw cacao powder, so that's how much I'm going to put in there. It's about 2 teaspoons. The raw cacao itself, if you're using a powder, you have to shake it up in the beginning. Otherwise, you're going to end up with floater in there, and it's not going to break down as easily. So what I do is I've got the funnel. It's already wet, so it's all good. Patience. Sometimes patience. The ideal would have been if I put this in there first before I got it all wet. But the kombucha will go through it anyway. Uh-oh. Whoopsie. I'm going to have to use my pinky. Oops. Uh-oh, I heard a belly burp. Belly gurgle turned into baboofa. Have you ever done this? Anybody else? See that it's not going through? My finger's in the way. There's chocolate stopping up the funnel. Now it went through. But like I said, I heard that. Now watch my finger. Someone's tuning their instrument out in the other room. So, next, okay. Again, I'd say 2 of these is usually good enough for the 1 and 2. Buckle my shoe. 3 and 4, something about the door. Do y'all remember when you were a kid? I don't know if anybody else did this, but when I was a kid, we used to do patty cake. And there were all these like, patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Put it in the oven. No, roll up the dough. I don't even remember all of them. And there were so many. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Or hopscotch, or like... you know, the jacks. Oh my God, there's so many different things. Do we still do that stuff? And so, you gotta mix it around. I don't know, does that stuff carry over? Do people even remember it? What you got going on over there, Stevia?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah. So that's just straight,
coffee and cacao.
And so what do you do after that?
So then, after I make sure it's the powder, you want it to mix properly. If it doesn't, you'll have like clumps, which I've had happen in the past. That's why I know from experience. Just gotta share my wisdom through personal experience. Hey Heather, how are you, honey? Heather, do you remember all the old patty cakes that we used to play when we were younger? Hi Melissa, Happy New Year to you too. Now I'm going to do, again, 2 drops of butterscotch stevia and 3 drops of vanilla stevia.
You know, I did not know that you make each individual one like that. I honestly thought, that's why I'm glad I'm in here with you, that I honestly thought you made one big batch and then you poured the whole thing into each individual glass containers. But you literally make each batch like that?
If I make it in the blender, sometimes it is, but and I have to measure it out into the jar how much of the mix is. But depending on each one, yes, pretty much each one.
So now you put that in there, and you're gonna put more of that in there, or just straight water?
No, it's straight.
That's interesting.
So I did that to flavor it. So there's always the first flavor that I add if I don't do just a plain, which you've seen this one I've done plain, but like those first 2 were just straight up the coffee kombucha. There's nothing else added. Now we just added the 2 teaspoons of the cacao. Wait, where's that? There it is. Oh my gosh, if you remember any of those, Heather, I would love for you to share those in the group. Some of the old, pop rockets and all that stuff. I'm not crazy about the noises. All the old nursery rhyme stuff that we used to do, patty cakes and all, that would be rad. Chinese jump rope, oh my gosh, yes, I loved all of that.
How about
Double
Red Rover?
Dutch.
Red Rover.
Red Rover.
Red Rover.
So and so.
Tommy on over. And you try to break it.
Mm-hmm. The Link. Or Dodgeball. Or King of the
Dodgeball.
Mountain.
I loved Dodgeball.
Oh my gosh. So
how about Marco?
Polo.
I'll admit, I used to open up an eye or two. Because if you didn't, you'd hit the wall in the pool.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'd be like, Marco, and I'd open up the eye.
Red light, green light. Yes, Heather. Red light, green light. Like, the red light was when everybody had to freeze and stop. Like, you'd be running to the person who did it.
Hey, did you see when you did that, the light turned on?
What did I do?
When you jumped, the light.
Maybe that's my trick. The energy. He's enjoying his rose quartz, which I really love. And that one, I believe, is blessed by John of God, too.
Oh, I know what we could talk about. In fact, after I talk about this, I'm going to go post this in the group. So I got a message like 3 days ago from this person I've never got a message from. And she wrote me something like a John Paul 16.3 verses something in the Bible. And then she wrote, "This is the only God. That kundalini in your spine is going to do something like that." And I'm going to post it, and it's like if somebody doesn't know you and they send that to you, it's like, number one, they must be engaged with you. But number two, again, like I always say, how come they don't say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. How are you doing?" or "How are you feeling today?" Instead of just doing that. Like, dude, I'm not going to read it now.
It's kind of wacky.
Like if she would have been, "Hey, I see, that you Lana does kundalini, you're getting used to experience, and that'd be kind of cool if you got into that. But I want to show you my GOD or what I believe in. Check this out." Mm-hmm. Do you think that'd be a better way to present something?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to post that right now.
So, it's interesting when you come into these different awarenesses. Like, Tom and I were having this conversation the other day, and I said, be aware. You're going to get some people that are come at you just because of what you went through, and they're going to want to connect with you and share their experiences, and you just don't know what you're going to receive. And he said, "Oh my gosh, yes, I've gotten tons of stuff already." And I know from my own experience, since I was a little girl, I've had a very strong connection to Mother Mary and Jesus, and mostly because my grandmother. I grew up Catholic, and I used to go to church with my grandmother, and I spent a lot of time with my dad's mom, my grandmother there. But I also had a very strong connection to what I consider my divine God, source, all that is, and never really felt like I needed to explain myself. That I know I've always had guardian angels. They have names. They've come to me over the years. I have 2 that I know their names. It's something special for me. And so, everybody's personal experience is personal. You don't have to go out sharing it with the world or trying to inflict it or impose it or convince others of it. It's special for you. And that's one of the things I think our society makes us think we need to connect with one another with the same experiences, when each individual experience is uniquely our own. And that if we want to connect, we do it through being in our own authenticity, RawThenticity, why we're ridiculously RawThentic here, right? So, keeping it special and sacred and not trying to always, well, yeah, I can relate and I gotcha and did. Sometimes it's just like, I hear you. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experience. When we listen to someone, do we listen with the intent to hear, or do we listen with the intention to react or respond? This is something in awareness of conscious communication that we need to all kind of remind ourselves, especially coming into the new year, right? When we're engaging with one another. Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to read that later. Yes, there's a lot of goodies there. There was also the whole my da, 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 da. And then we did this whole cross hand and slapjack, you know, like this. So fun. But going back to personal experiences, because you know I can easily get sidetracked. Over the years of coming into more openness about my personal connection to my divine or spirituality, whatever you want to call it, I've never really wanted to say I'm a religious person, because I feel like to me it's a very personal relationship to all that is. And even just labeling it, whether I say Jesus or God or Mary or this or that, is just labels, and we don't need any of that. We don't. We just feel it. The minute you give it a name, you have taken away the full significance and meaning of it. You shift the energy, you shift that significance, you even change that experience. So just being with it is really, really special, and to sit with it. You know, it's like I was told and reminded when I was in my first teacher training for yoga in January of 2011 down in Managua, San Juan del Sur down in Nicaragua. We were watching the sunrise or the sunset, and my teacher at the time made the comment about how the moment you say that's beautiful, you've attached a label to it, and you've changed and removed the significance of the moment and the experience, right? And that's the key in releasing the dogma, releasing the need to label or categorize and put things in boxes. You change up your experience the moment you have to say, well, this was good or that was bad. Because when you choose it's good, you're neglecting bad, or you're, you know, they're really in the essence of all that is, neither exists when you're just with it in the here and now and just being. If you want to swing on the pendulum and go for that ride, eventually that pendulum is going to come to a neutral point, and you're going to recognize and appreciate, no matter where you've been, that it's all perfect. And that without one or the other, you wouldn't know the other. But then when you come to that neutral point, it's like, oh my gosh, there is no good and there is no bad. It just is. But that comes with a lot of awareness, mindfulness, reflection, breathing into what is and being with it no matter how it comes up for you. This has been my experience. So what I'm going to do real quick is I want to try this taste. I do this once in a while. I'll do like a little flavor taste because I already know what's in it. That's going to be good. Ooh, my nose got itchy. Yeah, that's going to be a really good mocha one. So I'm probably going to do, I got 2 more bottles in there, I think. So I've got 2 chocolates, and I have to clean 2 more bottles for this. 1 and 2, buckle my shoe. 3 and 4, shut the door. 5 and 6, pick up sticks. 7 and 8, appreciate. I think this is the explosive bottle that we had. That's not going to clean very well. I'm going to have to use the scrubber on that one. And that one's pretty good. That should be easy enough. So, yeah, and again, what are y'all doing for your New Year's? Post down in the comments. Let me know what's going on for you. Don't worry, Tom's not gone for the rest of the night. He'll be popping back on in here. The night is still young, right? I'm going to finish up these 2 bottles of kombucha. And then I'm going to start on that coconut yogurt. And I'm pretty excited because I've got this new Puridyme probiotic powder that I'm going to utilize, and I haven't played with that yet. So Tom ordered it, and we're going to play and see how we like it. I know what I usually do is use a probiotic cap, but since I ran out of it, we said, let's try some other brand. And we've been both curious about using Puridyme. Staying in tonight, I don't doubt. That's really relaxing. It's the best thing you can do, right, Heather? What's the temperature up there? How cold is it? Oh, how nice, Melissa. Are you actually hosting then? So you're hosting everyone at your home? How sweet is that? That's really kind. And it's nice because then you can have a nice family bonding moment, and I think staying at home is always the best way to do it personally. Over the years, when I lived in Europe, it was different because I could walk downtown and all that. And when I lived, especially in Naples, I spent a few celebrations in Capri. 12 degrees. Oh, oof, I don't miss that at all. I feel you, honey. I don't miss the cold. I know I couldn't go back to the old days of living up north. I don't know how the heck I did it. Playing games with the kids. Oh my gosh, how fantastic is that? Getting dressed up. Even if you're not leaving the house, it's nice. So that's going to go with chocolate. And then I've got this other bottle. I know when we were younger, and I lived in northern Maine, Heather can relate. Maybe you, I don't know if you ever did this. I used to go across the border to Canada because the drinking age was cheaper. Oh yeah, smudging, Kelly. I've got Palo Santo right here, as a matter of fact. I got my Palo Santo. I love the smell of that so much. It's so good. Oh, that's really sweet, helping your parents. So a couple years when I was younger, and I had a fake ID. You know, I went down into New York City when I was a junior in high school in New York. Went to 3 different high schools. Moved around a lot when I was younger. 3 totally different schooling systems too, by the way. I went to Canada. I used to go over there to a place called Jarvis. I don't know if that still exists. But we would go over there because the drinking age in Canada was 19, whereas in the U.S. it was 21. So we would go over to the club. And for me, it really wasn't even about the drinking. It was about going and dancing because, you know, there was no place for us kids to dance growing up there, right? I remember it burnt down, though, didn't it, Heather? Or they rebuilt it or something. And you know what's funny is we used to leave our jackets in the car because we didn't want to pay to have our jackets checked. And it was a combination of the price because we didn't have a lot of money back then. But it was also the fact that nobody wanted to stand in line. And by the way, I lost stuff before. Yeah, they rebuilt it. I can't remember. I think the last time I went over to Jarvis was when I was up there for our high school reunion in 2002 or 3. I think it was 2002 because it was right before I got out of the Air Force and before I went back to Italy to work in Naples again. It's crazy how much time has gone by. I mean, seriously, that was over 15 years ago. What? I mean, really, where has the time gone? It's another lifetime away.
Are you going to do the yogurt?
I will as soon as I'm done these 2. And then I'm going to put everything in there to show them. How you doing?
Good. Where do you want me to put this water at?
You know what? You can put it in the pitcher because I'm going to need at least the first one for water. So what we'll do is we'll just turn this over and you can just pour it in here. Hello.
And then crack them in half and then take the coconut meat out and put it in there?
Yes, please.
Okay.
He's such a good helper.
I'm sorry, you were talking about your high school.
I was sharing that it's been over 15 years since I was up in Maine, where Heather and I went to school together. And
Heather, do you still live there?
She does. She said it was 12 years ago, and she said that they rebuilt the bar we used to go to in Canada.
I wonder what the temperature is there today.
12 below. Oh my gosh. She said 12. She said 12 below. And with the wind chill, it's about, it's probably like in the 30s.
How am I going to, we have another strainer, don't we?
You do strained? Oh, you're good. Just pour it on in. Yeah. Just flip it straight up. You are the bomb diggity, baby.
Boom.
Boom. What? Chicken butt. So this one's going to need to be scrubbed because there's sediment on the inside. That's not going to work. So when they're like that, I just know I'm going to have to use that scrubby thing. So yeah, we used to go to Jarvis, and then we'd go to this, there was a, Jarvis truck stop? The truck stop place that that was right there at 95 and Route 1. We'd go there afterward to eat, and there was something crazy we all used to eat. And I never understood it until I went there. It was called gravy fries. You get the...
Oh, that sounds good right
You
now.
get gravy, which
Gravy
I can't
fries?
do. It's all flour, right? And fries, and dip the fries in it. But it was so salted and peppered. That's the only reason we liked the flavor. So, yum. That's some good meat, too. That's going to be perfect. Check you out. He is the coconut master.
So gravy fries.
So we would have gravy fries and eggs and hash and all that stuff. Oh my, Irving. Yes, Irving now. She's sharing how much changed since then. So yeah, it's been like 2002, the summer of 2002 is when we had our 10 year, because we graduated in 92. So our 10-year reunion, and it's been 15 years since I was up there. Does that sound right? Check him out. Can y'all see this? He's going to town. I'm going to put some more kombucha together.
He thinks it's a firework.
Come on, baby. You go lay down. You're okay, baby. You can lay there if you want to. You know we love you nearby. Happy New Year, William. How are you doing? Sweet. Look at that. Look at that meat. That's beautiful. So, I'm going to do this last one with more chocolate because the chocolate's really good. And this is the most coffee kombucha I've gotten out of this, by the way. Do you have any special New Year's recipes you all like to make? Like eggnog, for example. Like I shared one of my nog recipes not long ago, nanner nog. Awesome.
Remember that video you did, that fast-paced video when you were chopping it up?
Oh my gosh.
That was funny.
During Hurricane Irma.
Mm-hmm. That was really funny.
Might have to repost that one. Sharing with y'all. Oh look, it went through that time. So again, I'm going to add some more of the liquid.
It'd really be really cool if we could, while you do that, if we had like a swivel and you could just nudge it just a little bit so they could see it in real time while you talk over it. That'd be rad. That'd be really rad. I'm saying maybe we could like put like a little WD-40 on that thing and just go. Because that thing looks so cool. What are those things called? Black cats? Those fireworks when they have the
Yes. I almost forgot about it till you said that too. It's cray the stuff. I remember living in Naples. Okay, so Italy, especially Naples, Italy, and oh my gosh, a Polish feast tonight. I bet that was rad. Coconut buddy. So when I lived in Italy, there's Naples is one of the famous places for fireworks, and I lived in Monte di Procida, and literally the whole town lit up. And then you could see the island of Procida and Vivada, and just literally do a 360 everywhere you looked. You were surrounded by fireworks. It's the most incredible experience of my life. So I just, that was another crazy, exciting thing about living over there.
Check those out, y'all. Deliciousness. These are so good. So good.
I love having a helper over here. He's so sweet. Thank you.
Check out a little compost box. This is what she uses for her compost. Just a mixed greens little plastic thing.
I don't know what we're gonna have for dinner yet. It's still on the fence because as soon as we're done doing this, we might make up some more quinoa.
Yeah, I'll probably definitely have some of that kimchi.
Yeah, I put some in a bowl.
Good.
So what I'm gonna do with those?
In fact, I will make that after I'm done doing this. I will make some of that. I might just have the kimchi by itself.
So I'm gonna put again 2 of the butterscotch stevia, 3 of the vanilla. That's my little recipe for the mocha butterscotch. Share in the comments below what your plans are, where you're tuning in from if you haven't already, if you're just joining us.
Check that out, y'all.
Yummy. Do you want one of the knives to clean off the meat, the thing?
No, I'm just going to use the coconut buddy for it.
Okay.
So how many kombuchas have you made so far?
This is number 5 for the coffee.
Is that the last one?
Yeah, this is the last one.
All same flavors? Or
Um,
did you mix it up?
3 of them are mocha with the chocolate, and the other 2 are... Look at that, perfect. You can't make this stuff up.
So how long can that last in the fridge?
It's going to continue to ferment, so, I mean, it'll last... It may just be really, really fuzzy, or fizzy.
You mean the longer it stays in the fridge, the fizzier it gets?
Yep, because it continues to ferment. This is good. Did I mention this is good? So, with that,
Here's this. Run some water over it. Now I know you get way next level and take every little piece off, but that's still pretty good.
Perfect. That's fine because that's actually not gonna.
See y'all. See, now she uses a spoon and she's really good at it. I haven't found that out. And this is kind of a thinner. It all depends. It all depends. Sometimes you'll have more or less water. Sometimes you'll have thicker or thinner meat. But I like to just grab this, and you can do the next one. So I like to just grab under here. And I think I got 2 of these 5 years ago, y'all, when I saw DTM. And he was like, gotta get this. And I got 2 of them for $10. And I think I'm down to 1 now. But see, look. If you just go in like that. Wow, just right under here on this lippage. And you just go. See? You'll see how, and then you just kind of scoop around. Just like that. Super easy. Look at that. What? So good. Put these in your smoothies or just eat regular. So good. It's like, I think this is Earth's candy. I just like just coconut water and coconut meat.
Ditto.
Literally, I mean, you could just do that for a week. Seriously, with some sunlight and some fresh air. Feel amazing.
Oh, so hydrating. You get your electrolytes.
You can go around the edges and just get those little bits that you don't want, those little hard bits. But this is going to go in the blender for the coconut yogurt. So, see, like that much. Like, see, that really wasn't bothering me that much. But you can just go on the edges here, see, and just take it off, like that.
You didn't even use your thumb.
And I remember the first time that I ever did this. My dad came and visited me in Alabama. It was my very first time that I tried to open up a coconut, and it was so frustrating and so hard to do. And it was with one of those little Thai coconuts. Those little Thai coconuts, and I didn't have a cleaver. I didn't have one of those things. So
How did you do it?
I went to my garage and I found some concrete with a corner, just like a step up, and I just started banging it up against that thing, and I was like gonna open this thing. And when I got it open, more than half the water was gone. But it can be a little bit intimidating when you first do it. And then after that, like, I didn't have much elbow room in here, but like when I'm outside or whatever, you know, I only need like 3 or 4 karate chops on it, and I could pop that thing open.
That's my little trick. My trick is I go up under.
Now see, look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Isn't that awesome?
The only thing I do here, I use one of my knives because it's really fine and it gets off like the little detail.
And that's a really good spoon too. That's like a really thick spoon. You can't do that with a flimsy one.
You want me to do that one too?
Sure. You can show me again.
So the key is for me is you go up here. Thank you, honey. He's really good though. He's extremely helpful. He's been so sweet, especially because I was feeling under the weather. He's been trying to get me to exercise my self-care. If it wasn't for Tom, I probably wouldn't have taken my bath last night, but I did make the intention to do it, so he just helped reinforce it. See, it's really important you have supportive people in your life that also recognize and support you where your gifts are and vice versa. And when you need to take a rest and when they need to take a rest, and you can help keep achieving the balance and the harmony in the home. I know it's not always easy for everyone and you don't always have access to that, but that's really all about the mindfulness and awareness of who you have in your life and maybe where you've been in your life, that you may have someone that is not serving you the way that your soul needs to be served and vice versa, right? Hi Trina, how are you tonight? Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. So we decided we'd come on here and just share some of our little rad goodies and, you know, like definitely our favorite things to do around here, because for me, you know, I do the booch and I love making coconut yogurt because Tom loves it so much and he appreciates it. And of course, I make it from my heart. My belly is actually kind of bothering me a little bit. So if it gets a little too much on the edges, excuse me, I'll rinse it off. And then if there's any like little spots. So yeah, I just finished my moon cycle pretty much last night, and like, somehow I'm getting lower back pains, and I'm wondering if it's this full moon that's coming on, because I'm super sensitive to the moon. Ladies, I don't know about y'all. Paying attention to the moon cycles is key. So we have these dates also. I'm going to put, right now we got 2 coconuts, so I'm thinking, at least 8 dates. How are you spending the new year? How are you going to bring it in? These are small compared to what I'm used to using, so, and they're good. They're really good, actually. That was 3. Here's number 4. I may do 10 or 11. 11 is a good number. We'll do 11. You gotta make sure I get all the date off of the pits. All dates have pits unless you buy them pitless. You know, pitted. Pitless. Pit. It's interesting because through my Kundalini teachings, Yogi Bhajan, he had such an amazing sense of humor. He used to talk about, you know, when you're dating, all dates have pits. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I think this is 8. 9. I'm also going to add a little maple syrup to this because it'll increase the flavor. It enhances the vanilla. We'll use some vanilla bean, which we also got the other day. And number 11. So, I have a funny date story. Maybe it's not so funny. Has anybody out there ever opened up a date and found a bug or anything right near the the pit? I've had this happen to me, I think about 3 times in my life. It totally freaked me out, okay? I opened it up, and that's why I always try to remind myself to open it up, split it open, and take the date out beforehand. Because when I was up in Maryland, I don't remember if I bought them at Whole Foods or another local natural grocery store that they had there. I was totally grossed out and freaked out because I had, probably should have broken these up in 2. I was totally grossed out because inside the middle was an actual fly. And I'm like going, no, what the heck is this? A fly? How does a full-grown fly get in next to the date of a medjool, you know, the pit of the medjool date? I don't know. Anybody? Kind of freaky, right? It is nasty, and it really freaked me out. So that was 3 years ago now, because it was right when I was finishing up and taking everything out of my house in Maryland and coming back down here. I had sold my house. So I yeah, I don't know. I probably washed it out and I probably still ate it, but it was enough for me to get a little freaky. Now, the other thing that I've had happen, and I don't know if y'all have had this happen, if you're not careful and there's mold in the inside of them. Have you ever bit into one when it was moldy? You trust me, you'll taste the difference too. Yeah, laid an egg in there. I'm serious. So yeah, I actually have bit into at least twice in my life. Usually it's a good reminder as to why not to bite right into it. I bit right directly into it, and it was like, oh, immediately flavor was not pleasant. And then here I was spitting it out. And from that moment on, opening the date in half first so that I knew what was going on in the date, and then eating it. You know, remove the pit. Just save yourself the trouble. Don't have that moldy date experience, because that happens from time to time. You know, it's something hard to control, especially in bulk environments, I would think. So yeah, it kind of keeps me in the moment when things like that happen. It's a reminder not to just start shoveling food into my mouth. Dates are, because the interesting thing about dates is it's natural sugar, and sugar is a natural preservative, right? So you can freeze dates. You can keep them in the freezer. You'll know how long you can keep them based on whether or not they dry up. If they dry up, then it's no good. All right? Deglaze are not my favorite. Medjools, technically, and then bodies. If you've never had a body date, they're really, really good. Those are something special. And I'm hoping soon to find some so I can get Tom to try those, because I know he'll love those. For as much as we both love dates, I know he'll appreciate them. And my girlfriend turned me on to them. And Sanwa, the place that we went to and did our little review on, they usually will carry them, which is pretty rad. So, I'll tell you what, I'm loving me some coconut meat right now. I'm just eating this out. Did that sound dirty? Sorry, I have those moments. Can't take yourselves too serious, right? So, over here, all the coconut done. Before I forget, we haven't forgotten, but I got this coffee kombucha over here on the right that I need to fill up with the coffee and the coconut water. Super simple, the rest of this process. I have the scobies off to the side. My hands are clean. I'm gonna wipe them off a little bit better. I think what I really wanna do, I'm gonna have to leave one of these big scobies in here. I'm gonna take this other little SCOBY out. Again, I like to squeeze it out as the liquid as much possible because these scobies will, they have a lot of liquid in them. But I'm going to cut them up and I'm going to make fruit leather with them in the dehydrator, which I did before I went to Solstice. And that stuff is so good. So, again, if you're ever handling kombucha in your house, just know that it stains. It stains even more than regular tea or coffee by itself. Because of the process, it creates more of an acidic type of liquid, let's say. So here's what it looks like. I've got one SCOBY in there now, okay? I am going to add sugar to this because you still need sugar for the fermentation. I still have a little taster. It's really good. I have 2 of these containers of coconut water, and I'm going to put all of it in there. Let me put the sugar in first, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Any connoisseurs out there? Anybody else make kombucha at home? Do you have a favorite flavor? Share in the comments below. I do sugar. I have an organic cane sugar. Care of Costco or Sam's, one of the two. And so because I'm doing about half of that, I just kind of measure it out. Usually it's about 1.25 cups, 1.5 cups per gallon is what I figure for myself. I'm just going to pour. I think about 4 of these is a cup. A lot of sugar going on over here. Sugar in the house. One more. So I did 5 of these cups. These are small little cups. So a lot of stuff I do is eyeballing it. I have written my recipes down, as you can tell, and I share them in the group so that y'all can try for yourself. And you know, like we say, make your recipe, these recipes your own. You play with them, change them up, share and let us know how that works for you too. Isn't that the beauty of making things your own? Liquid, baby, liquid. What's going on in there? We got some coconut water in the house. I knew somebody whose family made the Tetra Paks in Europe. I forgot who it was. It's the craziest thing, but you know, we've come a long way. I don't think they were always as, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I got Buddy looking over me. He's so sweet. Okay. So that was that. There's one. Recycled people, recycle. I'm all about recycling. And also making sure I keep this wiped down because it gets so messy and sticky. I have some smart ants in my house sometimes. They come in, they know I'm doing things, and they go to town. 1. So I use, basically these are 2, how many ounces is that? 33.8 fluid ounces of coconut water. And then I have 2 32 ounces of Pecan Coffee by Chameleon Cold Brew. I'm telling you, this stuff's good. The smell is amazing. And I like to reuse glass bottles, so a lot of times I keep them. This is fun. I'll show it to you in a second. So the colors change completely. So you see it gets kind of cloudy and becomes a lighter brown. Well, to begin with, it starts out dark brown, the coffee color. Last one. What? Blend it up, stir it up. The sounds of love. What? So has anybody set their intentions for the new year? Do you know how your year will unfold? Do you have like a sense how the rest of your life you want it to be? The vision that you hold? I know it's going to be loud here. Last year about this time, I remember the city of Dunedin, I think, had fireworks. And so it was kind of noisy, and I could hear it all the way over here. Plus the city of Clearwater, which is in the other direction. So it's you never know how noisy the area is going to be. I'm already starting to hear it though, and it's still early. What does that say, 8:25? So now, here's what we got. Oof. See how dark that is now? And now I need to stir it so that the sugar is mixed around in there. I already have the kombucha SCOBY in there. I need to rinse the cup top. So if the temperature of the liquid is cooler, it may take a little longer for the granules of sugar to dissolve. So now I'm getting it all up along the sides. Oh, it smells good. So here's what it looks like so far. Alrighty, there we go. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? How dark that is. And you get to see the SCOBY up close, right? So, that's done. And all I need to do is put the lid back on top. I'm going to wipe this down. Just wipe off any excess water because the condensation that builds up. I wish you all an amazingly healthy and vibrant and abundant new year. I think we could all use some blessings this year, right? Placing this back over here in the corner. You can say, voila, it has its own special spot. I keep a towel over it just to keep it from the light and also just to keep the attention of the bugs off of it, basically. And even back here I have another kombucha that is made with white tea. Okay, so the SCOBY will get turned into the leather later. Leather later. Ha, alliteration. Little poetry this evening. What? Okay. So here we are with the coconut meat. I really need to wash these out real quick. So just real quick. As I'm in the kitchen, I don't know if anybody else is like this. I like to just tidy up so that I don't have a whole lot to clean up later. And mostly because I know that it just saves me one extra thing to think about as my night unfolds. So I clean up funnel and the filter and the glass. That was really, really good. So my sister told me she got a new doggy the other day, and it's a 18-month-old Mastiff. It's a smaller Mastiff than those big ones. Her neighbor has two, and she got a female, and she said the female is smaller as it is. She has two kitties. So I'm curious to see how they get along. I'm sure they'll be fine. But they do travel a lot, and sometimes I wonder how she's going to do that, because my doggy needs a lot more attention than kitties. So. That all taken care of. Now, what I like to do for the vanilla yogurt is I like to add a little vanilla, Nilla, and a little lucuma, actually. And you know, I like the lucuma, gives it a little bit more of a like a carameling. It enhances the flavor. So I'm gonna use the other spoon just because it's dry. Can you smell all that chocolate? You have some dates too. You got dates there. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of the lucuma, which is, I believe, a Peruvian fruit, which I have not had that I'm aware of. And then we have this vanilla bean.
So it's a Peruvian fruit. How do they get it in the powder form? Do you know?
I'm not sure if they must dehydrate it and then dehydrating it probably, and then grinding it down is my theory. So Mastiffs are huge. Yeah, they're huge. I'll never forget the first time I was in like a Petco with my dog, Angel. We were in PetSmart, and I was getting her toys, and there was a bull Mastiff in front of us, and I looked at him, and I looked at her, and I said, "Oh, honey, you don't want any of that." It was just the funniest little thing, because he was huge. So this is how much of the vanilla bean I'm going to put in, because we like the vanilla flavor. I put 11 dates. I'm going to put probably a little bit of maple syrup, but I'm going to wait until after it's blended to see how the flavor comes out first. But this is as simple as it gets. The prurium is our key. I think this comes with a little scoopy in there too.
That's a Pyridime?
Oh, the Pyridime. I keep calling it prurium, don't I? Purium? Purium? I know why, because I'm thinking the Mercuna prurium.
We got that at Amazon for like $35. Before you used to use gel caps, right?
No, they were vegan. It was Garden of Life.
Your
vegan.
capsules?
Yeah, and I had it for a while, so that I hadn't looked up any of the stuff out there until we talked about it. And I knew they were powders, but I'd never tried the powders.
Garden of Life was purchased by Nestle for $3 billion.
That's crazy. And I met Jordan when he was first starting out in the beginning of the Garden of Life. He was down here in this. He lives in Florida. He lived in Florida, my understanding. And he had a similar story with the gut issues as I did, which is one of the reasons I was most attentive to the whole changing. Excuse me. So it says here 3 scoops is a serving. And then it says twice the life is life biotic. This ultimate culture is special blend of stabilized probiotics formulated to fortify both your body and your food. With this proteolytic properties and prebiotic foundation, you can bring to life your raw food cultures while enjoying the Pyridime explosion of microflora as it establishes probiotic forces throughout your entire body. Putrefied proteins, carbohydrates, and fats don't stand a chance. Twice the benefit and twice the life. In order to live it, we must consume it. Puradyme has recipes available using the superior probiotic blend to create non-dairy products, yogurts, salads, dressings, and other raw living foods. It's not the food in your life, but the life in your food. I think that's one of the most beautiful marketing write-ups I've read in a long time on any product. So, of course, they have a protector seal, and that has to be pulled out. Oh, it does have a mini little scoop in there. So it says 3 scoops is a serving.
Do you know the lid is for this?
You check on the table where you had it? Maybe? Oops. Yes. There you go, baby. Great. Oh, darn, it passed.
The owner, I forget the owner, I think is... He was hanging out with Dan the Man. I think I just had it. Lou Corona is the owner of that.
See how attuned we are. I don't know where that came from. 2.
And we'll post this recipe in the group, right?
Mm-hmm. So basically what we have in here, what we decided to do, I'm just going to do this because I'm curious. Yummy. So it's 2 coconuts basically, for anybody who wants to write it down beforehand. 2 coconuts, meat and liquid, 11 dates, medjool dates, 1 tablespoon of the lucuma, I'd say that's about 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla bean. Oh, looky. I'm just loving any of this coconut meat. So good, guys. I'm serious. This is so yummy. I mean, I'm already drooling over here over the concept of having coconut yogurt because we ran out a little bit ago. So I know this is a special treat for both of us. Okay, so here it all is, all ready to get blended up. What? So pardon the noise; it does get loud in here. Let's see. Too much liquid in here, but it's tasty and it's messy. It's all good. Sometimes that happens. You know what I do sometimes too is if I have too much liquid in there, and I don't have any meat that's available, what I'll do is I'll add some of the flakes.
Let's do this. Let's open this one, save the water. I'll drink the water and use the meat.
Sweet.
Make it perfect.
Sounds like a plan.
Are y'all doing fireworks? Are y'all grilling? Are you having a raw food nighttime picnic? Are y'all going to make love under the moon? Are you going to meditate under the moon? Are you going to bed early? What are y'all doing today?
Have you
for your
seen
New
that
Year's
moon?
Eve party?
Have y'all seen that moon? It is beautiful. Do you want to use one of your... Will that fit in one of your...
Yeah, and then I'll just put it in here.
I have a little one right here. Get the straw going. I love that little straw you brought.
See a little hole right there, and you can just pop a Ninja glass straw through there.
Look at that. Hubba. Ooh. Share with me. Thank you.
That one tastes a little funny. No?
No.
Tastes different than the ones that we have at that other place that we bought in bulk.
Mm.
What's it called?
San Juan. Aw, Laura. I know, if you're ever in the area, definitely sharing is caring. It's got my tongue wagging over here.
Ninja time.
I tell you what, having a big strong man over here to do this is so much help. Because before my girlfriend would give them to me, yeah! Before my girlfriend would give them to me like that with just the top broken open, and I'd get in there with the spoon. Now, don't get me wrong, I can get the whole thing out in one scoop, but just doing it this way is it's huge. I mean, it takes less time.
Well, I tell you, that video you made when you were karate chopping those is so funny.
He makes me laugh at myself more. I've never had someone laugh at me as much as Tom does and then make me laugh at myself as a result. I feel so silly.
To be honest, you know those coconut little shindig things over here are giving you baby heart attacks? They're giving me baby heart attack. So I'm going to sweep them while you spread the love so you can spread the love in an optimal way because I know this will probably bother you.
Isn't he beautiful for doing that? You know how much I appreciate his effort? Let me tell you.
Hold on. And this is even an outside broom. This isn't even the proper broom. So.
There's floating hairs. That's my baby heart attack. I don't want hair in my food.
But.
So when you get used to somebody else in your space, and you know, it's been really beautiful because I initially just opened myself up with this understanding that my boundaries, my own personal belief systems would be challenged throughout all of this. So let me tell you, the efforts that he makes, every single one touches my heart, and it's the sweetest thing. You know, when I wasn't feeling well after I came back from Solstice, he sent me to my room, our room, put me in, tucked me into bed, downloaded some movies so I could hang in the bedroom with the movie. He was so sweet. Well, it shouldn't be an SBD, I guess. So, it's the little things in life. Let me tell you, ladies, if you have a man that is making an effort, recognize it. And remember to say thank you, because if you want to see them really grow with you, you both have to appreciate each other's efforts, right? So every little bit counts, and it doesn't have to be a certain way. It's the effort and the caring enough to try that makes the difference. And look at that smile. So you can't even get mad at that smile.
No way, Jose.
Even if it comes with the baboofa. Because we have a lot of baboofas with love in the house.
What do you all call baboofas? FARTs. I did a video that had 200 names for baboofas.
I know. I never heard of half of them.
Do you remember that video?
Yeah. You had your feather boa on. I didn't like that.
I know. I left it in my backpack and it got smudged by rotten bananas.
Ooh. We can fix that. Maybe.
No, I threw it away.
Ooh.
It was all messed up. So this will thicken it up, you think?
Definitely.
So you just had too much water ratio per meat?
Yeah, so it's really probably 2 coconuts worth of water and yummy.
And you let this sit
Overnight. Not even
but it
maybe
gets
10
way
hours.
better longer, right? Or just pop?
Yeah. I have a favorite jar that's my Formioli. Rocco Bormioli. Aw, Kelly says, dude, you rock. He does rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all think this video is rad, please share it, because sharing is caring, and you don't know who else out there maybe is experiencing a lonely thing, you know, New Year's Eve, and could use a little upliftment, a little laughter, because that's what we're here for, is to uplift, inspire, support, and empower one another. That's what the group is all about. If you haven't already ninja flipped over to the group RADiculously RawThentic, do so and introduce yourself. Even better if you want to go live in the group, because that's where we really enjoy getting to know each and every one of you, is through your personal experiences. And when you go live, we get to actually see you like we're there with you, right? I welcome Laura. It is so wonderful to have you. We really appreciate. It's great to see you. If you know anybody else that could benefit from this, because one thing I found is that the value of the internet, having come from an IT background, having been prior military, worked in all sorts of backgrounds like that, we can harness the power of social media in a very positive, uplifting way, which is why Tom and I created the group and opened it up like we did, you know, because it's really about the inclusivity. Nobody is excluded unless you're not holding space, because that's what it really is about. We want to be able to create a community where you feel comfortable to be you, you know, you be you. Y'all seen my little rock over here, right? You be you. Unapologetically, raw and real, authentically, ridiculous. Because sharing is caring. So when you open it up, the web of inclusion embraces each and every one of us, right? When we allow it. So when you choose to make changes in your life, like I did years ago, ultimately, I tell you, one of my biggest wake-ups was looking at a relationship I was in and seeing my parents. I became a mom, and my partner was my dad. It was ugly, and it was time for me to go, this ends right here. I am not continuing a legacy. And from that point on, I went into celibacy, and I was celibate for years and didn't date. It wasn't that I wasn't interested in dating. It just, I had no desire to try to go into another pattern. It was time for me to heal. So I spent years working on me, and that in itself, I truly believe, is why I'm where I'm at today, because I put myself first. Too often I was trying to be somebody I really wasn't. It was the old picket white fence syndrome, you know, the whole Cinderella, expecting my prince to come and save me. And, you know, we never think about, well, what happens after the prince finds her? You know, it's like there's all these ideas where we buy into these belief systems, the materialism, the stories, and they're really stories. We take on those stories and think, oh, that's for everyone. Well, have you known anybody who's had that? And even if they do, it's rare, and it was what was meant for that person. And when you don't know what someone else's experience is, you don't know, you know, what appears to be the fairy tale life may not be what you think it is. So, you know, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And a lot of times we're not even being truthful with ourselves about what we're dealing with. So I had to really come to terms, and I had to look deep within myself and confront everything that was going on that was creating the experiences that I was having. And then look at me today. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful. 2017 to me was actually an amazing year. And as far as I'm concerned, it can only keep on getting better. Yeah, there's still some challenges going on in life, but you know what? There's one thing I do believe. It's in the power of prayer. It's in the power of keeping your attention focused on what it is that brings you joy, and appreciating what you have in your life. Because the more you appreciate what you have that is working, the more of it that shows up in your life. So this is like like I say, where attention goes, energy flows. If you want to experience a rich life, look at the richness you already have in your life and be in gratitude for that. Just be present in the moment and go, wow, how beautiful is this? I go to bed at night and I'm grateful and I say, thank you so much. I have this beautiful doggy Buddy, who is snoozing right now, nice and cozy, who watches after me. And I have this beautiful man, Tom, who showed up in my life when I was praying for someone, but I didn't know that that was who that was at the time. And then I took a leap of faith and said, what the heck? Caution of the wind. Open yourself up and allow a person to come into your life. And so when I did that, it's been just unbelievable how life is unfolded. And yeah, I've had my mental stuff going on or my emotions popping up, but the beauty in what I've been experiencing has helped me to grow that much more by just embracing and being in this here, right now. We can't know what we don't know until we know it. But once you know better, you can do better. And when you know something's working, you can cultivate it and harvest it more. When you can recognize the beauty and the gratitude in every moment, even if there's little rubs that make you feel uncomfortable, that's allowing you to move forward in your life and to grow and to thrive, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? But see, we don't have to think about everything as having to be a struggle. We can see it as, oh, maybe it's a detour along the way. When you see what you consider something difficult or a challenge or an obstacle in your life, take a step back and breathe into it and go, thank you, because you know what? There's a reason this is happening. And just because a door closes in your face doesn't mean another bigger door is not around the corner. There's an Italian saying that's kind of like ours. When one door closes, another one opens. In Italian, they say, quando una porta si chiude, un'altra portone si apre, which translates to, when one door closes, an even bigger one opens. The beauty is that the more present we are and aware of how our life has unfolded up to this point, we can look back and see that when we were in dis-ease and discomfort, something beautiful came out of that. Something always does. And never give up before the miracle, because when you feel the pressure is on, that's when you need to get on and just keep on, because that means the miracle's not far along the way. It's the awareness of how you're reacting or embracing it, because resistance will cause the most suffering. Sitting with it and being with it will give you the most growth and will make the ease a lot smoother. So, I hope you're hydrating tonight. Even in the colder climate, you still need to hydrate a lot. My stomach is my lower back's starting to bother me. I think that full moon is pulling on me. And I feel that stuff. That's how sensitive I am. And ladies, you're most intuitive during your moon cycle. Okay, where's the lid? The lid is right here. So we're going to blend it up. What? And so I like it to be really, really smooth, so I'll do this a few times because I know that it will, I might need one more little scoop of the Puridyme. Or, is it Puridyme? Did I say that? Life Puridyme. Yes, Puridyme. Happy New Year to you, Shaq. I hope you're having an amazing evening. Keeping it safe, and I know I'd like to stay off the roads personally. I know in the past for myself, I had some really dangerous evenings on New Year's, on Christmas. on holidays, on drinking and driving. One more down. Okay, so I want to taste test it to see how creamy it is first. And then, wow. Wow, that's really sweet actually. It's probably just right. That's really good. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to add a little bit of the nutmeg. This is my own little secret. Is a couple. It's a BlendTec Corey. I like my BlendTec. I just wish it wasn't so noisy personally because it is noisy. I'm going to add. Something else. No, you know what? I don't think I want to add anything else. So I've been moving things around on my counter over here. I've got all sorts of spices and herbs up here, and I know everything that I've got. I'm going to blend it one more time, and then taste test it. And so this is actually a commercial. I got it off of eBay years ago. I just need more pictures. It's good. Hopefully it'll thicken up when I put it in, when I let it sit overnight. Yeah, so it is definitely perfect, my opinion. Blend, look at that, dramatic pour. I love, love, love these glass jars. And so I don't go to the very top because I know this will usually grow. And I'll put the top on it, the lid. Isn't those pretty? These are the Rocco Bormiolis. I brought this particular one back with me from Italy. I just love that it has all this beautiful design with all the fruits. And then I think there's a bumblebee and there's a beehive in there and butterflies. It's just pretty. Yeah, I like stuff like this. Quattro stagioni is what it says, which is 4 seasons. And then I have about 10 ounces left, so I have another jar I can put it in. Let me see. I love glass, if you couldn't tell. And this, where did I put it? There we are. This I usually get nut butters from a local place. You need a new one because you're Ninja. Oh, okay. And this one, it blends it as smooth can be. And so that's the last of this. I personally like BlendTec. I know a lot of my friends use the, what's it called? Vitamix. Vitamix is good too, and I have used it, and the tamper is fantastic. And in fact, BlendTec has pictures that you can use on the base that have the tampers in them, depending on what you're making, especially like making, what do you call it, nuts, nut butters and all that. I personally don't make my own nut butters. I would rather just buy that because I just feel like that's more mass produced and it's easier for somebody who has all that. But I like the pictures on these because they're square, and I feel like I lose a lot. I lick all my containers, okay, y'all? If you haven't watched me before, that's my little thing. I lick my knives, I like my food, and so therefore everything gets cleaned off. I don't like to waste any of it because it is that delicious. It's just my food and I enjoy it, you know. We have a little joke, and sometimes, you know, Tom will hold off and you want to lick this? He's so cute. So So yeah, I really hope everybody's having a safe and beautiful evening tonight, and you're just really excited for what this new year's going to bring you, because I believe that if you're in ease and flow with your soul, you know, like I say, I like to flow with my soul, or let my soul guide me. It's super good. Oh my God. So I'm gonna have to wipe this off, but the outside had a couple spots. So what I do is keep it on the counter. I might even have to put it in the fridge before, because when we come up to a full moon, here's something most people don't know. If you notice, when you're coming up to full moons and new moons, your enzymes in your stomach, you get like voraciously hungry. Have you ever had that happen? And your body's like, feed me, feed me. Well, it's like that with the animals. It's like that in nature. The enzymes in foods speed up. So when you're doing cultures, kombucha, my kimchi, for example, coconut yogurt, what ends up happening is the enzymes will speed up. So 5 days leading up to a new moon or a full moon will speed that up. And it's kind of a cool thing to consider, because that's living food. So everything's done.
Yay! You did a great job in here today.
Oh,
You're in here for 2.5 hours, y'all. Isn't she amazing?
Is that all?
Hi Corey, hi Shaq, hi Laura. Y'all share this video. Miss Lana was in here for a long time. If y'all missed the kombucha, she tore it up, made 5 separate bottles, right?
Yep.
And then just did a delicious coconut yogurt. So if this is your first time seeing her, make sure you share this video, spread the love. We hope that y'all are having an amazing New Year's. I have a pretty good idea. I don't know how you're feeling. I know you're probably a little bit tired, maybe, but what we could do is we could set up 2 lights out back and do like a New Year's meditation live inside the group. And maybe you can share a meditation with me that I have not done yet. And we can go out there. Maybe you could take a bath first or something. Maybe relax. Maybe we'll eat some food, and then we can go live in the group and do a meditation outside.
How does that sound to y'all? Does that sound appealing? Because we may just do that. If it resonates for all y'all, you know what? We'll listen to what you want. Yeah, is that one of those ones where I need to leave the room?
No. But does that sound cool? Oh, did you just see that? She just did a booby twerk. We're booby twerking. We're popping chairs. This is the first time I've ever done this. I could do jingle bells. Ready?
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Wait, how about this? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, reindeer. I don't even know the rest of that song.
Had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him,
You would even say it glows like a light bulb.
All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one shiny Christmas Eve, Santa came to town. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the other reindeers shouted in glee.
My boobies are on fire! Try to do that for a long time. You got that down better than I do. Let's get serious here.
Hold on a minute. I mean, I can get one.
How does that sound good?
If everybody's up for it, we will provide.
It doesn't matter if they're up for it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it.
Do you want to do it?
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
The only thing is the mosquitoes. Maybe we could.
It's
spray
too
some
cold
stuff.
for skeeters.
Okay, so we're gonna double light it, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
Cool. First, I'm gonna have some kimchi, and I'm gonna do some quinoa. But I'm really, really excited about this. Did it turn out? Did it get thicker?
Try it, baby. Ooh, excuse me.
I've never tried it unless it was already
Made. Like Guatemala.
when it pops. Guatemala.
So yes.
Guatemala. I made that word up.
And it's a cool word, isn't it? It's rad.
All right. So, do you have anything else? Are we gonna finish it? Love, spin, boom. We'll go live. We'll do a meditation. Meal plan, y'all. And the meal plan is on sale till the 3rd for $97. We have a lot of people that are on week 5 right now, and I will show it to you. Let's see if I could do this on the first try. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
He's got skills, babe.
I got skills. Here we go. Oh, that's the email. This is what the email will look like. Check this out. That's what the email will look like when you get it, y'all. Right? You just download it, and then when you're a Rock and Rad Star member, you get the password. It comes every single week, and it's 12 weeks. And perfect time, right, for New Year's resolutions. A lot of people strategically do all this. We're going to do a 10-day sugar detox, which is cool. We're going to do this. We've had this meal plan out for 5 months. And you can start at any time. And a lot of people go weeks 1 through 12, and then they just keep going 1 through 12, 1 through 12. You know what I mean? That's what I've heard. You know, like, well, I finished the 3rd month. I'm just going to go back to week 1. Or you can go to month 2 or whatnot.
And choose your favorite recipes, especially.
Yeah. So here's the meal plan right here. So this is week 5 right here. This is the avocado, right? And each week has 3 times 5, so 15. Sometimes we give 3 extra recipes, 3 supplemental recipes. So 18 recipes per week, per se, times 12, right? So that's over 200 recipes, close to 200 recipes.
Easily.
And we have a lot of Rock and Rad Stars that just will grab like 20 recipes, and like that's pretty much all they're eating. You know, favorites. And they eliminate the yummy nastiness, they eliminate the sodas, they eliminate the cigarettes, they eliminate the booze, and it's life-changing. It is hard. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. You have to keep at it. You know, you have to create those healthy boundaries and those healthy habits of, you know, shopping for bulk items, you know, organic items, and learning, you know, to get your staple items and learning to become kind of like a ninja in the kitchen, you know, and then if you have children or a spouse, they can play with you. And so this is very, very, very special, and it's helping a lot of people. And so we're a couple Rock and Rad Star members, I think, didn't get paid till after the 1st, and so they wanted if we could extend it. So we extended the sale. Normally it's $123. We extended the sale till the 3rd, which is $97. What? So like there's Monday, right? Then you got Tuesday, all the way to Friday, and then you have your shopping list. And there's some supplemental recipes, which I believe. A cashew hummus.
Oh my gosh.
But what?
You know what? We should do that.
Yeah. Well, do we have cashews?
No, but we've got. I can make a hummus without cashews.
We just finished the Brazil nut.
Oh
it's like nacho cheese. It's the best tacos you've ever had, and it's a Brazil nut nacho cheese.
It's not nacho cheese.
It tastes like tastes like Doritos, y'all.
And we posted that in the group, by the way.
Yeah, and then we finished that. We snuck it in the movie theaters today. Right? And we finished that. It's delicious. So in every one of these recipes, we really did put our heart, sweat, and soul, and our taste buds, excuse me, all that stuff in here. So if y'all are interested, the link's in the group, or message us, or message the member. And I highly suggest do it. There's a lot of people that are afraid of being judged, number one. Maybe even afraid of the price. And if you're afraid of the price, reach out to us. We'll hook you up. You know, we can work with you. But a lot of people are being afraid of judgment. They're being judged by friends or family, or especially the holidays. If you go to Christmas, and they're like, "Oh, eat this, eat that, eat this," and they're like, "No, you know, I'm whole food, plant based, or I'm vegan." So it's life changing. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. And so if you're on the fence, reach out to us. We'll wrap with you individually. You know, over Facebook Messenger. You know, we'll give you as much time as we can, but this is a very powerful thing, and I wish I had this. I know I purchased Dan the Man's thing, and I went 30 days raw with his thing, and some other things, but this really is a template and a lifestyle change.
Welcome, Brandy.
And it's super rad, and I'm really proud of it. So if y'all are interested, let us know.
It has a shopping list. He's going to mention.
Shopping list. Full shopping list, y'all. A through Z. and it's for 1 to 2 people. You can you can scale it and you can duplicate it times 2 for 3 to 4 people. A lot of people say it's a lot of food. A lot of people say it's not that much food. So you'll wrap with it for 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll find your medium on what works for you. But we're really proud of that.
And because your wealth is in your health, this is an investment in you. And especially if you know somebody out there who could utilize it, it's a great gift to start out the new year and have an accountability ninja that a couple of you decide to do it together. This is the best way to start off the new year. So set the intentions for you. This is self-care, self-love, and it's a gift for you.
And what's powerful is the group. 43,000 members. The group is there. Go to the group right now. I think we had seriously 60 posts today. 60 posts of people from all around the world. And so even if they're not on the meal plan, you can ask a meal plan question. If Lana and I don't get to it, every post probably gets, we have probably half of the posts today got 70, 80 likes, 30, 40, 50 comments. Sometimes they get 200-300 comments, and that replaces a counselor, a doctor, all sorts of different professionals or whatever, and you get real life, advice through people that are trying to heal themselves, and then offer their experience and their journey. So the group is very, very powerful for this. It's like built-in love, support, and inspiration and motivation for you, and the group is always free. You don't need that. And I've been thinking there's some other things that we're going to be doing. The meal plan was really the first thing that we really put together that was like a paid service just because people asked for it, and it was a lot of fun to put together.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
But it was a lot of fun, and but we have a lot of other things and some ideas that we're going to put into place here. Probably in January, which is tomorrow, and in February. And so if there's anything that you all need, Lana has some retreats coming at the end of the year. She's going to be having her Rad Monday Hook'em journaling group, which is going to be tied into this group. I might have a little Rad marketing group, where you guys can just ask me some questions. But we have a lot of fun doing this, and if there's anything that we can do for you or whatever, because you all inspire me, you all motivate me. And I always try not to talk at you all, because I feel like you all learn, or I learn more from you all than what I put out there, and that's what's so powerful about the group. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The group is amazing. It could be addicting sometimes, but I think it's I don't know if any addiction is really good, but it's a really positive addiction. You can literally learn so much. We have people that just go in there and go live and just sing, and they face their fears, like Tim. Mm-hmm. He hasn't sung in front of a lot of people, so he goes in there and strings his guitar. We have Bonnie Bonavito, Bonavito, who does karaoke and sings on there. We have beautiful Lucy Lynch. We have Ella. Ella's been front and center going live. She's on day 31 or something, day 30. We've got a whole bunch of rock and rad stars, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger because it's the only thing that exists that's true and that we're really serving. So I wanted to share that with y'all. It's on sale till the 3rd. One Do Love Spin Boom. We love you all. We're going to do a bubble bath. Not bubble bath. I used to do bubble bath meditations.
We'll get back to those soon enough.
But we'll do a meditation outside.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We love you all.
Ready, set,
boom.
go.
Boom!
What?
Keep it raw.
Stay rad.
Bye, y'all.
Love you.